Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, y'all. And welcome to Bankroll Your Brilliance Thursdays. My name is Nicole Roberts Jones, and I'm known as the Bankroll Your Brilliance expert. Excited always to be here to hold the space for you to do one of three things. Number one, that you understand what your brilliance is. That God brought you here on special assignment. You have work to do. The second is the value tied to it. And the third is how do you create multiple streams of income from it? So as you're coming in, number one, those of you that have been here before, you know how I am. I always say my grandmother always used to say, "Don't come in this house and not speak," right? So I don't know why my video is acting crazy and I want to pull up. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up my video so I can see your comments. Come on in, tell me name and where you're joining from. Okay, iPad acting extra crazy today. We're gonna rebuke that and get it up. So as you're coming in, here it is. There we go. There we go. So come on and tell me name and where you're joining from. Hey, Janista and Sean, welcome, welcome. Again, tell us where you're joining from. I love to see where you are in the world because we have people all over the world. As I bring up our expert today we're talking about creating a financial legacy. Legacy, financial legacy. If you have questions, you have thoughts, you have comments, I want you to post them live. So without further ado, today we're talking from the second critical area, the value tied to it. Many people will make money. Hey, my Renata. I love when I see my clients here. Hey, Janista in DMV. I'm in the DMV too, girl. Poking us on vacation. I know that's right, Dr. Andrea. So I love Erica in Birmingham, Alabama. Hello, hello. I love this one. This conversation is good because many of us don't understand the value tied to not just making money, but the legacy that you can create as you do more and be more. And so today I want to introduce to you Marcella Mollon-Williams. Now, Marcella is a licensed behavioral financial advisor, certified cognitive behavioral coach, and co-founder of Legacy Builder Group, a holistic coaching and investment firm helping families build wealth with purpose. Now, y'all know I already love that right there. Wealth with purpose, right? With over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, Marcella helps individuals and families and find financial freedom by managing their decisions around making money. Marcella is also the creator of the 4F initiative, focusing on what she considers the four core areas of legacy planning. Y'all ready? She demonstrates how to shift your thinking habits and lifestyle into one that thrives harmoniously in the intersections of finance, family, about to say faith for finance, family, fitness, and faith. She has a passion for legacy building and is evident in her family. She is co-founder of the Excel Youth Mentoring Institute with her then 13-year-old daughter. And how old is she now? Right. And so she works with young entrepreneurs and their parents to provide mentoring opportunities. And listen, this woman does it all. She's received numerous awards. She's a contributing author of the book Glamorous Side of Entrepreneurship. I mean, I can go on, but y'all get ready. Get your pen out, get your paper out, and welcome Miss Marcella. Hey, girl.
Hello, hello.
Always excited to get to play with you here. Many times you guys, I'm bringing in some of my girlfriends in the biz, right? And so I have to, like I told Marcella before we started, I had to have them send me questions so I don't become sister girl for the next 20 minutes or so. So let's pour right in, Marcella. So your company is called Legacy Builder Group. So what does it mean to be a legacy builder?
Yes, a legacy builder. First of all, thank you for having me. So excited to
Hey.
be here with you. What does it mean to be a legacy builder? And it's so important. I like to break this down for people. So if we let's look at the word legacy. And that is something, and I say something, money, land, tradition that is
Mm-hmm.
passed down from generation to generation. And then
Mm-hmm.
we look at the word builder, and that's a person that constructs something with what they've been given.
Mm.
So we're talking about someone that's able to construct something, construct that legacy from what they've been given, what's been passed down to them, and then what they can from generation to generation. So they can't just stop with you.
Right.
That you have to have value to that, and it is added on and continues. So the key elements of legacy to be a legacy builder is action. It takes action to build a legacy. There is
Mm.
something that is in place now, or there's something that you're building now
Right.
so that you will have the legacy that you want later.
And the thing I love about legacy, and I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. So as Black people, right? Because this is Black doctor. So if you're not African American, I'm sorry. But this may apply to you too, because your ancestors might have gone through this too. So when we look at how we came here, and I'm not gonna have a whole slavery conversation, but what's so interesting is many Black folks don't think about legacy because we weren't taught legacy. Many of us, for years, talking about our ancestors and our ancestors' ancestors, were just trying to survive. So now I believe that we're in a place that we can
Yes.
start looking at what impact do we want to have financially. When you think about some of other cultures, and how their family, especially I love this about the Jewish culture, right? How they
Uh-huh.
always leave for the next. And so looking at us as a people, I love that you're talking financial legacy. It's like what can shift, and I know this is not a question, but this just jumped in my spirit as you were talking. What can shift legacy for us as a black people? It's like what one thing do we need to know so that we can be, a culture that really does build legacy?
I think it's the value of our strength, of what we have, our mental faculties, everything that we've been given. And see, I was born in Trinidad, raised here, I was adopted into the African American community by becoming a
Mm-hmm.
citizen. So I have this beautiful perspective that I call a beautiful perspective of living in these two worlds. And I know
Yes.
from conversation with people, and you would be amazed at how, I think how much African Americans are admired. We always hear the
Mm,
negative, but we're
mm,
admired by Black people in other cultures.
right.
And that is something to harvest and to build upon. This is what you're talking about, bankrolling your brilliance.
Yeah.
Bankrolling our brilliance is a
Yeah.
way where we can build and leave a financial legacy. But we have to shift our mindset and understand that there is value there instead of just constantly focusing on the negatives and
Yes.
holding us back. But look at what we've come through, our strength and the ability to rise, and all of that is bankable.
And just so I want y'all to know this. So bankroll means supply of money. And it's all about what do you do with what you already have. And as we even say this, it's making me think of, and I don't have my Bible in front of me, y'all. There's a story in the Bible somewhere where a widow, her husband has died. And when your husband dies, they could take your children for collateral. Oh, that he was in debt. Sorry, he dies and he's in debt. I forgot that important part.
That's
Hello,
right.
financial legacy, right? He dies and he's in debt. And so the debt gets passed on to his wife. And so back then, if you have debt, they could take your children as payment for the debt, right? And so she goes to Elisha, like, what do I do? And he says, tell me what you have. Right. And I want y'all to get this. And we're going to continue this conversation, but it's so good because you got to start with what you have. And she says, I have nothing but. So when she
Right.
says I have nothing but, and I'll come back later in the conversation, I'll tell y'all where the story is exactly, right? She says I have nothing but. First of all, when she says but, that means she's getting ready to say she has something. So that means she was overlooking what she already had.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want y'all to get this. And many of us, you might think I don't have enough money to leave legacy, but you got to start with what you have. And Marcella's going to give you some tips. I want y'all to get this. Then he says, take what you have and go collect jars because she says has nothing but oil, a little bit of oil. And he says, I want you to go and collect jars. And so she is coachable because she goes to do it. Because she could have said, go collect jars. What's that got to do with my debt? Right. Because that's what I would have said. I don't know about y'all. Right. So then she goes and collects the jars. And then he says, then he says, close the door. In other words, don't listen to anybody. Don't let anybody else know what you're doing because you don't have no space or no time to be listening to negative naysayers that got something to say about you in this jar and a little bit of oil. That doesn't make sense. And so, for many of you, financial legacy doesn't make sense. You don't think it's possible because you don't think you have enough. You don't think you have the supply, but you got to start with what you have. I need y'all to get this conversation today is
Mm-hmm.
for all of you, right? Hey, Joy
Mm-hmm.
from Barbados, right? And so, literally, and Phyllis and Janetta and whoever else I missed, and Jersey girl Natalie. So then she goes and pours a little bit of oil, and she realizes she has enough oil to fill all the jars. And then he says, "Go sell the oil in the jars, and you'll have enough to live on." Period. So I want you to get that what Marcella is telling you is how to take the little bit and how to make it enough to live on for years. And when you talk about
Mm-hmm.
legacy, it's beyond just you. It's for your babies and your babies' babies and their babies and yada yada yada. I want y'all to get that. So as you were sharing, that came in my spirit,
Oh,
Marcella. I had to share that.
yes. I love that.
With that said, now y'all got to know I'm part God's girl and part bankroll your brains, and they're related.
Got
so
that right. Together.
so this may be the first time a lot of viewers are hearing about behavioral finance. This is so in alignment, right? So tell us a little bit about, thank you, somebody wrote 2 Kings 4. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you because listen, I know the Bible. Sometimes I don't know where it is, but I know it's in there, right?
Right.
So let's talk about, can you give us some benefits? First, explain what financial behavioral finance is, and then tell us some benefits around understanding it and really implementing it for ourselves.
Sure. So, as you said, I'm a behavioral financial advisor, and what that is a combination of traditional finance, psychology, and neuroscience. And
Mm.
that comes together using those components to help people manage their savings and investment behavior. So, in other words, work on helping them stop the self sabotage and financial self
Mm.
sabotage, which we're probably very familiar with it when it comes to spending behavior. You know, when you say you're going to put more to your IRA, but you see that really cute pair of shoes or something you want to buy and it goes somewhere else. Not saying
Right.
anything's wrong with the cute pair of shoes. It's just money has to have a place and you have to make a decision around it.
Yep. Yep.
But what we're not really familiar with is how this works in the area of investing. And study after study after study of years have shown that it's not really the markets that affect your portfolio, it's your investment behavior. It's how you are operating your money in the market, panicking, the spontaneous selling of stock and the way we behave because
Mhm.
of what's
And
going
or
on
look,
around us.
and dare I say, think not knowing what you have. That going back to that story, telling you because listen,
Yeah,
if your mother ever said, and mine did, I'm a rob Peter to pay Paul. How many of you don't know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm from South Central LA, so none of my family ever had wealth. And now I'm in a new tax bracket and I'm having to learn things and do things with my money that I never would have thought possible. It's easy for me to self sabotage and go buy that Louis
yeah,
Vuitton. Let me keep it real, right? Those shoes, because she talking to
right,
me. I don't know if she stepped on your toes, she's stepping on mine. It's easy for me to do that and be like, yes, and by outward
right.
recognition for how hard I work, or I can think about legacy and shifting my mindset about how I'm thinking about it.
And that's the key right there because we specialize with first generation 6 to 7 figure earners.
Yeah.
That's a whole different mindset. With just like you, I mean, you're the exact kind of person I'm talking about. And you
Mhm.
said everything there. There's a mindset. There's a behavioral element there. It's not just
Yeah.
about teaching you how to budget and teaching you how to put. That's not enough because you have, in order to maintain, sustain a legacy, to create that legacy, there
Yeah.
has to be a mindset shift. It's more than money. Money is not.
Mm.
It's a financial legacy is can't start with money.
Come
It
on.
starts with more than money. It starts about your why. If you are not clear on why you are building a financial legacy, it is going to be very difficult to do so.
Yeah, yeah. And I think about when I look at some of my family members and my friends' family members that retire and they don't have anything to live on when they retire. And even dare I say when my father passed in 2014, he left 3 properties for me. And I started realizing, wow, what a legacy he left because one of those properties bought this house I'm in now. Okay. So he didn't know. And that little bitty house in LA bought a 7 bedroom house in Virginia. And I'm not trying to brag, but I want y'all to get how
Yeah.
things, it's like you're paying it forward
Yeah.
to the next generation when you're looking at how do you amass things and let them grow. And literally it's a whole it's just a whole different mindset. So I absolutely love that
It
you are
is.
behavioral finance because most people don't realize that your mindset is attached to the money you make.
Yes, that's that. Like I said, that's the biggest one. And everything you just said there was so powerful. You think about the mindset. So many of us can have stories about grandma who saved their money in the jars, didn't talk much,
Mhm.
but she did. She took action. This is what I love
Yeah.
about sports too. When we're talking about action, you see legacies from whether it's Michael Jordan to Serena. Their
Mhm.
legacy is not in words. Their legacy is in action. They took what
Yes.
they had and they created something amazing from it. They don't
Mhm.
have to talk the talk because they're walking the walk.
Ooh,
And
and then
that's
they look, and
what
they
we have.
multiplied it. That's good,
And
girl.
then
So let's get
multiply it.
excited because Venus could have been a great tennis player, right? And she could have been taking what she had and just played tennis. But listen, the reason she won year after year after year after year, she kept practicing. She kept growing in her craft. She kept growing it, which is the key to financial legacy, is creating and growing and multiplying it.
There
Mm,
you go. There you
so good.
go. You can't just
So
leave it to
good.
sports. It's all of us. It's you have to find yourself in that narrative. We
Yeah.
have to find ourselves and not just think, oh well, that's them. It's not just them. It's all of
Mm-mm.
us. You have the ability, as you said earlier, take what you have. There is value in what you have to offer. What you have to
Yeah.
offer. You weren't placed here by accident. You weren't just dropped here. God didn't just say, "Oh well, I have nothing for you." He gave you
Right.
something. you know.
And look, at if you don't know what he gave you now, he gave you Marcella. So listen, at the end of a few minutes, I'm gonna give you a free gift. Those of you that are serious that want to learn to listen, one of my favorite Bible verses is abundantly above all you can ask or think. So if it's bigger than you can ask or think, you don't have the tools you need to go and get it. It's bigger. And so
Yes.
again, when I use myself as an example, my family never talked about these things because it was bigger than what we knew. So if I'm going to do something different and expand the legacy, even for my last name, even for my family, it's creating something that's never been done before, and nobody in my life is going to know how to do it. So that means I've got to acquire new tools. I've got to go after and get to some newness. So with that, perfect. Next
Mhm.
question: What steps? What are some steps that people can do today to start working toward their financial legacy? And look, and while she's saying that, I'm gonna go ahead and put up her free gift because I already know some of y'all gonna need this gift. So go ahead. What are some?
Yes, yes, yes. And if you were listening, there were a lot of things that we were saying. So I'm gonna try to break some of it down so we can kind of give you something actionable. So I want to go back to knowing why you want to build that financial legacy. There's a book, Simon Sinek, Start with Why. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I love Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Begin with the end
Yes.
in mind, which is
Yes.
something I live by. Begin with the end in mind. So you really have to be clear. I always say you have to be clear on two things: where you are now and where you want to be. What do you want? So write that down. Really take some time for yourself and ask yourself these questions. Why? What? What do I want? Why do I want it? And
Mm-hmm.
make it clear, because money, again, cannot be the only reason, can't be the only motivation for financial legacy.
Right.
Money is nothing more for a reward for the services and the gifts that you put out into the world. So let's look at that. So I would say, definitely write down. Make sure you are clear on your why. What type of legacy do you want to leave? What does this look like? Are you talking about land, like Nicole's father? Are we talking about money, stocks? Are we talking about recipes that can
Mm-hmm.
go towards entrepreneurship development?
Right.
So all of these things. What is this legacy look like? The next thing I would recommend is seeking wise counsel. The Bible
Mm-hmm.
talks about a multitude of counsel. It is so important to seek
Yeah.
wise counsel. This is a thing I always have to, I talk to people about, relinquishing the guilt,
Mm-hmm.
relinquishing this feeling of, I should know what I'm doing. Finance is not a DIY situation.
Whew.
And we have to get our minds. You're not taught it in school. You're not taught it in elementary school, middle school, high school. Maybe if you're in finance in college, but if you're not taking finance in college, you probably weren't taught finance.
Right.
So yet we become adults, we mess up or we get frustrated. We don't ask for help because we think we should just know this. We don't ask for help. We mess up. And then guilt continues and the cycle continues. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying is seek a financial advisor, a CPA. Make sure that you have people around you who are experts in this area who can assist you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so make sure you have wise counsel around you. You are worthy of that. And the other tip I would say is download this checklist. This checklist. This free gift that I'm giving is a checklist of questions that every family should be asking. This is what I call our legacy builders checklist. So will give you all the questions for you to sit down with your family and start
Mm-hmm.
gathering things. This is more than property. This is more than jewelry and the values, but this is talking about what are the pictures, the family heirlooms, like I said, family recipes, talents and gifts, things that we want to make sure are remembered for generations to come. My
Yeah.
family, we even have a family crest,
Mm.
and we created a family crest, and we
I
went
love
through a
that.
whole rite of passage ceremony with our kids. So we were very serious about what this legacy was going to look like, because in order to sustain a financial legacy, our kids need to start understanding their why at an early
Mm.
age so that
Mm.
they can actually pass it on. My son is
Which is,
even now part of my business. He wants to take over my business. So
I love it. I was gonna say, which is why your daughter at 13 started a business. Hello, right?
exactly. My daughter started an entrepreneur. That was a legacy that came from my parents.
Yeah,
It didn't start with me. I was
that's
given
so
that
good.
legacy of entrepreneur spirit passed on to my daughter and my son. So
Mm.
make sure that you're clear on that and get that checklist, and that will really help you get a start on things.
Well, that's so good. Listen, Marcella has given us so much, and a lot of it for some of you, it may be overwhelming because you've never ever thought that this was you. You never ever thought this was possible. So, can I tell you a secret? When you get this checklist, you know you're going to be on her mailing list. Dare I say, if you need support, you need more, then reply to the email you get and say, "Hey, girl, I need more." Right? Allow her to and her team to coach you through because listen, financial legacy is available to all of us. You said it before, Marcella. It's all about us taking action. So your first needle point move may be to send an email and say, "Hey, girl, I need help." Right?
Just that simple. Just that simple. And that's actually a very good mental milestone to get over. You can take
Right.
and get really far by just saying, I just need help.
Right.
You
And
know?
Mia says, "Thank you for the great information on developing financial legacy." You are so welcome, Mia. Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Mia.
And the thing that I love about women like Marcella is she stands unapologetically in her genius. And she knows it's not just for her, it's for every person that needs it. So I want to encourage
Mhm.
all of you, grab this checklist. I'm gonna put it up one more time and do the work. Take the time to do the work of the checklist. And then wherever you need support, wherever you need holes, reach out to Marcella. Somebody said, "I need her email," right? So tell Mia said, "I need her email." So tell folks how and or where to follow you and how to reach you.
Yes, so I am on various social media platforms. My email is emmawilliams at legacybuildergroup.com. So that's Emma Williams at legacybuildergroup.com. I'm on Instagram under Marcella M. Williams. Right here on Facebook, Marcella Mollon-Williams, and LinkedIn as well. So yeah, reach out to me, DM me, come find me. I'm here for
Mhm.
you.
Yes, get the information that you need. So thank you, Marcella. Thank you for all that you do to make sure that we are, look, not just making money and but that we're spending it correctly and that we have the correct mindset to go over and above what's possible for us. Thank you for holding the space, not just for your family, because you've been doing it with your kids, and I know your parents did it, and you could have just kept it in the family. But thank you for reaching out to bless all of us with with your genius. Ooh.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. So, listen, that was today's episode. So good. You see, the free gift is there on the screen. If you missed it, grab it. What I know for sure is next week is the last quarter of this year. What are you going to do different next year so that you are building legacy, more legacy than you built in 2021? What are you going to do different? Some of you guys need women like Marcella in your life. So I want to make sure that you grab her checklist. Now, for those of you that are saying, "Yes, Nicole, listen, every day I'm going to listen, I invited you last week. I'm going to tell you and show you about it this week." Some of you know that maybe your financial legacy is tied to you starting a business. So many of you heard about the fact that I have a 2-day intensive coming up, and actually it's next weekend. So I'll show a commercial real quick about it, and then I'll come back, tell you a little bit more about it, and then we'll close this episode. So hang tight and check this out. You Be the Answer is not like any other woman's entrepreneurial event that's out there.
On the first day, I've already gained so much clarity. I can't imagine what more I can get.
Being here at Be the Answer has been an amazing experience. I have seen women break down in tears when they realize that their dreams are definitely possible to come true. I have seen women taking notes feverishly, when the ideas and the light bulbs start going off, and they're like, "Oh, I can do that," and I'm learning so much. Right now we're on a break, and you see women networking and developing partnerships and getting publicity and passing out business cards. So it's more than just a conference. It's an opportunity for community, and everyone is just saying yes to what's next in their life.
We've taken all of that and we have gone virtual. See, this is where women join us from all over the country from the comfort of their home. See, they join us for 2 days of doing the work, not just to discover, but to get the action steps you need to position your gift to profit the right way in your business. See, we position it the right way for the right people so that you can get to the abundance that's yours for the taking.
Be the Answer has helped me and my partner, Carnell Leday, to focus on more streams of revenue that we could have ever possibly considered on our own before.
Look, so many entrepreneurs are given false hope and false direction. This may even be something that you've experienced where you go to a conference and after it's over, you leave hopeful and maybe you leave with a vision of what you really, really want for your business. But I got to tell you, vision without execution is hallucination. See, that is where Be the Answer is different. See, it's 2 days of execution. It's 2 days of getting the strategy you need. See, we dig deep in the areas that you must grow in your business now. And it won't be a cookie cutter approach. No. See, the world does not need your success to look like anybody else's. The world needs your business, your success, your abundance to look like yours. My goal for you is that you are creating and living into the legacy you will leave in this world. See, and as you do, it enables you to do two things: to make a difference and make money while you do it.
Be the answer. You need to be here next year because Nicole Roberts-Jones will get you there. Her whole entire team has helped me be the person that I was created to be.
Ultimately, what I know for sure is that there are people who are waiting for you. They're waiting for that gift in you, and every day that you don't stand in the full power of that gift, you're holding up somebody's answered prayer. That's right. Whether you work in their business or their lives, those people need you, and that's why I call the event Be the Answer.
Be the answer. Woo!
So, those of you that know it's time to grow your purpose-focused business, I look forward to serving you at Be the Answer. So listen, today is the last day to register and get your swag box. Oh yeah, I send a swag box to your house on time, which has all the tools you need and all the workbook you need, because it's implementation. I love that Marcella talked about implementation. So whether you're ready to start a business or you're ready to start your financial legacy, let me put her gift up one more time. I want to make sure that you grab the free gift that Marcella left for all of you. If you know now's your time to create your financial legacy, then grab that checklist that Marcella left for you. Those of you that know it's time, because this is the last quarter, y'all. Start next week, last quarter of the year. Those of you that are ready to start or grow your current service-based business, I look forward to seeing you at Be the Answer. Again, that's betheanswerevent.com. You get a swag box. You do a 5-part online program as soon as you register. And then we start pre-activation activities on Monday. So with that said, I'm Nicole Roberts-Jones. It's always my honor to hold the space for you every single week, that you live as the highest and best version of who God has created you to be. Join me next Thursday when I have another guest here in my goal of helping you bankroll your brains. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.